Our next speaker is Jean Ross. Jean is an acute care nurse and co-president of National Nurses United. I think I see a few nurses here today. Are they represented? Yes. She's a passionate advocate for social justice. She grew up in the suburbs of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and where she worked at the same medical center for Fairview Southdale Hospital for about 35 years. You know, couldn't tell it by looking at you. She became active in the Minnesota Nurses Association in the wake of a historic strike in 1984, where 6,000 Twin City area nurses took to the picket line to demand seniority rights. How many of y'all understand that workers' rights is one of the very basic principles of social justice and a just transition, right? How many of y'all understand that she's been fighting for social justice and workers' rights and a just transition longer than some of us have been alive? Because she's so young and beautiful. My daughters are only 9. They're only 9. So, I love and respect all the work that you've done. And without further ado, I want to bring Jean Ross to the stage.
Folks, I wonder if you realize as a group how privileged you are. I don't take off my coat in this weather for just any crowd. So, good afternoon, brothers and sisters. The nurses are thrilled to join you today for this critical demand for a just transition to keep fossil fuels in the ground. This is critical work. The 185,000 nurses of National Nurses United are committed to join with our union brothers and sisters, to join with activists around the country from my state, Minnesota, in the north, to the southernmost point of Florida, to join with people around the world who are prepared to take on this fight with you to save our health and our planet. Ta-da! We are putting the fossil fuel corporations like BP and the Koch brothers on notice that business as usual is coming to an end. We are building a political movement that is fighting for a future that is clean, that's healthy and free from pollutants and the economic and social effects of the climate crisis. We'll no longer allow them to hold our health and futures hostage and drive our planet to the brink of disaster. So, we demand a just transition away from fossil fuels to clean energy and clean jobs. So what is a just transition? It's one that protects the health and rights of our communities and energy industry workers. It guarantees that new jobs created will be quality union jobs and protects the security of existing union contracts. It makes use of the skills and expertise of the workers in the current fossil fuel extraction and production industries because they know best what is necessary for them to make a just transition to green production. The people who do the work always know best how the work should be done. It ensures that displaced workers are given the retraining that they need to move seamlessly into green production jobs. A just transition is one that both lifts workers' standards while lifting the health and income standards of the surrounding working class communities and the communities of color that have always borne the brunt of the impact. What does a just transition look like to me? Well, it's one where the people publicly and democratically control what is produced.
Yes.
It's one where the people determine how we produce energy, not the corporations who are only after profit and political power. I'd like to say just a few words about the Southeast Side Coalition to ban pet coke. Yes, I know they're here. The community and its leaders have waged a relentless battle to ban the processing and presence of pet coke in their backyards. Southeast Siders took on the Koch brothers and their facility, KCBX, and they've won some serious victories. They already forced the shutdown of one of KCBX's terminals. And now KCBX, under a city ordinance, is in the process of covering all pet coke and making the remaining terminal a direct transfer site. Direct transfer means no more stories-high piles of pet cokes blowing across the southeast side. The pet coke will be loaded onto a covered conveyor for transport to barges, trains, and trucks. Now, that's a victory. While we know that it is, that the pet coke will still sit on the river uncovered, blowing into the air, dropping into the river. That's why the fight for a complete ban of pet coke needs to go on. I want to conclude by saying something that Bernie Sanders always says. Enough is enough. I know you know this. The time has come where we will no longer accept what the 1% dictates. The working class, the 99% are rising. And now that we are awakening, we will not go back to sleep. So let's keep it in the ground, break free from fossil fuels, fight onward for a just transition. Thank you.